navigation using what? The stars. One star in particular you're concerned with right now. Right now? The sun. The sun. Now, the North Star you can use if you're in the northern hemisphere, but right now, since it's out, we're going to use the sun. The best time of day to work with the sun is when? Noon, which is why we're doing this at 1 o'clock, because we like to lie to ourselves for half the year and say it's an hour later than it really is. For some reason. They had better sense back in the 17th century, so there is no daylight savings time. So we will be using it at 1 o'clock, which is true noon. Actually, probably a few minutes later will be true noon for us. The reason you're doing that is because the sun at noon is...
Straight up.
Is it?
Sort of.
I have a shadow, so it's not straight up, but it's at the highest point that it is in the sky. If we were about 15 degrees north of the equator today, it would be directly overhead right now. So, you do it at true noon because that's the point when the sun is at the highest in the sky. You are going to work with the sun to try to figure out your latitude. This is how far north or south of the equator you are. To do that, you're going to need to have certain specialized tools to measure the angles of heavenly bodies. The first one I'm going to talk about is this one. This is called the cross staff. And the cross staff is pretty simple to use. You have this transom on an arm. You move it up and down. You have different transoms for different latitudes. So this is for mid-range latitudes. It's the middle-sized one. Where am I if I'm using this one?
Oh, wow.
If I'm using a bigger one, where is that going to mean the sun is? Closer to the horizon or further up? Further up. So if the sun is higher in the sky, I am closer to the equator. If I'm using the smaller one, where am I? The poles. Alright, so it's very simple the way you use it. You put this to your eye. There's a little brass tack here that you sit right underneath your eye. You find the sun, you find the horizon, you move the transom up and down until the horizon is here, the bottom of the sun is here. You find the angle on the side. What's the problem with this? Lots of stuff.
Would it change depending on the height of the person?
It could potentially, but I'm thinking of an even bigger problem than that.
Time of year?
The horizon's moving?
Problem for me, personally, using this tool.
Your glasses?
Yeah, my eyesight. It requires you look at the sun for extended periods of time while you make these little teeny adjustments. It's not great for your eyes. Now, I have heard there is other